I saw your message. I haven't gotten back. I had lots of Merry Christmas, which is awesome. And I'm still texting people back, but Merry Christmas. How are y'all? Sean is, what did you say you're doing, Sean?
I'm stoking the fire.
He's stoking the fire. He's stoked for the fire. So I'm going to be looking at the one on the chat on the screen. I found out today, I had no idea that the iPhone, is it the 14, has a 4K camera. No clue, because I didn't really know what a 4K camera was, but I found out that today. So that's it is what it is. What are you guys up to?
That's going to take off. That's a good motherfucker.
You did a good fire. You did a good fire. Where's your phone, baby?
It's right here in my hand.
You got it?
Yep. What's up, people? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I think I said it for the right time, so we should be good to go. Not 5 decades ago or...
Yeah. When I was 3 months old.
Yeah. He's got glitter on his, right here where on his mustache or his upper lip. I think he snuck off and went to the club sometime during our family get-together. Did you, Sean?
I went to the club. This is my Christmas present from Karen.
Yeah, she knows. Oh, look, Sean, you still have this on it.
I got the tag.
Well, the little hanging thing. But hey, you want me to take it off?
Well, you don't have to right now.
Well, you look like
I look like I'm out there.
one of those kids with the propeller hats on, you know?
Oh, my God.
I don't want it to poke you in the head. Hold on.
Don't want to be poking me in the head.
Anyways, love it. You'll probably have to readjust it because you're... So, we got home about an hour ago, and I was talking to Sean. I'm like, I love decorating for Christmas, and I love whatever, but after it's kind of like over, you're like ready to have your house back, you know? You're ready to have your stuff where it goes. But then I started thinking, how many of you take it down on Christmas, and how many of you keep your stuff up until New Year's?
You hear that cracking?
I do. Do y'all hear the fire?
Can you hear it cracking, people? I got the fire roaring tonight.
It's nice. Scout loves it.
25 degrees out right now, maybe a little cooler.
You think it's
warmer than it was last night.
And tomorrow it's supposed to get up into almost the 40s, right?
We'll be back in the 40s by Tuesday when I go back to work. I don't work tomorrow either, guys.
He's all mine. Let me put this on live chat.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We played family Christmas.
We played Family Feud.
And you know how it is. Hey, EXO.
Hey, EXO family, Merry Christmas.
You know how like some people are super competitive and some people just like or whatever. So one of the first questions I went up there and the question was, you know, you got to pick a popular answer. And it said, what is something that Santa wears? And I went up there and I said G-string. And nobody, well, the crowd, they thought it was funny, but the person that was hosting it, the game, like working they said it was not on there, and that Santa does not typically wear a G-string. Well, hey.
Who knew?
Who knew?
We need to get this gift and show it off too.
I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to.
We got a great gift, Christmas gift, and we're going to show it to you, and it's perfect for us.
The wreath.
The wreath,
okay.
Yeah. It's a wreath, but it also encompasses our name and also what we, you know, our chickens and everything. It's really cool.
It's from Jude, and I don't think that she would mind that we showed that. So I'll show the box in a second, but this was in the box. It's shells, and then this is like, I can't think of the name. It's from the beach.
Let me see it.
It's like seaweed, right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
The ones you find on the beach. I love it. So we have that, and she put it, look at this. She made this.
That's the box. It is like a regular cardboard box, but she decorated it, and it's
oh, look,
it's
she's got
awesome.
a little thing on the bottom of it. Very cool. And I'm pretty sure she probably has an Etsy store because the wreath came with instructions on how to take it out. So I'm thinking she does this like, yeah, isn't it cool?
Very cool.
I'm gonna put
and it's so Mandi too.
it is very
Mandi
much so.
loves stuff like this.
Yeah, hopefully she comes through. If not, she'll probably see the replay. And then again, like I was saying, we're not bragging, just showing you out of interest. My mother-in-law gave me these little Shih Tzu pajamas.
Look
Michaela,
at that.
look at these.
Look at those, Michaela. There's a little Sawyer Browns on there.
And that was super cool. And then
was cool.
We got a spice called what, Sean? Chicken shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Look, this is
We opened it. We're like, oh my god. So it's my mother-in-law gave it. It's chicken seasoning.
It's seasoning, but it's called, and they've
It's
got
called
stuff.
chicken
They've got
shit.
one called pig shit.
And
they
you know
got
where
one-
it's from? The Big Cock Ranch. I bet Let It Go came up with this name. Let It Go's probably busy. So
A lot of people are busy tonight. We're appreciative that, if you guys aren't busy and you're hanging out, it's 10 o'clock Eastern time, so it might be a little earlier
yeah.
out on the other parts of the country.
Some people are probably still partying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did family games and we ate prime rib and I made red potatoes to go with it. And I thought it was a pork tenderloin.
Yes.
And then we got there and they were like, no, because they said, is it okay if it's a little rare? And I was like, a pork tenderloin? And they're like, no, it's beef. And I was like, right on.
So, Karen may know this. Pork tenderloin, like if you cut it.
No, beef tenderloin.
Beef tenderloin, if you cut it into bigger pieces, I think it's filet. I think it's the same cut.
Is it?
I think. It's
Someone might know.
It's not prime rib. Prime rib is a bigger cut of meat. But
Yeah. Is it?
Hey,
Well,
Christine, Merry Christmas.
It just depends on I don't know, because I know if you go to the butcher and you said, I want to buy some prime rib, they don't sell cuts called prime rib. It's something else that you slice it off of.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out what it is. Now, beef Wellington is made from beef tenderloin. When you put the crust over it and you soak it in wine and all of that. But I've never made it, but I've seen people make it. It has like a bread crust over the top.
I'm sorry. I just think she's amazing. I was just looking at her.
Thank you.
She is, that's our third Christmas together, and I don't know how I made it without her.
We have a good time for sure. Everybody, all the couples there have like their own senses of humor, like things that they laugh about and things that they bring to the gathering or whatever.
My brother's a truck driver, so his humor is kind of gruff, really conservative.
And he'll troll you in real life.
Yeah, he'll come out. You'd think he's totally serious. He'll just be in a conversation. He'll say something very political, very conservative and political. And if you're not ready for it, it can be borderline offensive sometimes. But it's not.
I think he's being ultra conservative to troll people. I don't even think he's that conservative. But
he is. But he also is a genuine. He's a really nice dude.
And my sister-in-law is a school teacher, so we always talk about funny things and things that happen, with students. One brings in goes into the convenience store in the morning and brings in honey buns and chocolate milks and everything. And that is his snack.
That's his snacks, his lunch, everything.
And she's like, or a Red Bull or something. And so we have a good conversation about that. And the stepdaughters were there.
Karen's like, on my way.
I know.
He's just checking in.
His oldest, we saw his oldest the other day. They went back to Ohio for the holiday, but my other two stepdaughters were there. And it was a good time. The food was amazing. And then
good time had by all.
A good time was
pretty girls.
It was a good time. It really
girls.
was. We went down into the basement to play family games or whatever. And remember that's where we used to stay. So we went down there, and every time we go down there, I'm like, this was a good time.
It's very nostalgic to go down there.
For many reasons. But
my dad turned our bedroom into like a little...
Good.
It's like kind of like a little office, little study. Now my dad is in his 80s, and if he's going downstairs, he's going to stay down there for a little while. Like going up and downstairs it's a chore for him. So if he is going down into the basement, he has set up that room where he's going to be down there.
I tried to tell him that, Medicare sometimes you can get approved for a stair lift. Like those I've had lots of clients with them. He was like, "Oh hell no," and I was like,
"Gonna do that."
I know. I was like, but they'll pay because I'm not gonna ride a chair down. And I was like, what about a sled? What if you get on one of those
What if it was like a ski lift where it just pulls you up?
I could if it wouldn't be for that closet, I could see kids getting on a plastic sled and going straight down those stairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was very nostalgic. When we were down there, I took, Sawyer out the back door. Y'all remember any pictures we took out the back, on the bottom of the back porch? I remember there was I think a Thanksgiving picture that we took down there, our first Thanksgiving.
It was a nice time when we were there.
Sawyer went charging out there and was looking around for the cats. He was like,
yeah. Oh, did he?
There. Yeah.
That's why he wanted to go. I remembered when the first couple of times I went there and we were dating, and I remember thinking, if we moved to Georgia, we could totally just like make this basement into our home for a while till we did but it was like a fantasy. It wasn't like a real thing. And then when you manifest it, it happens.
Yep.
I think he's sleeping.
Is he very, very?
Karen had a relaxing time.
Karen, I'm wearing the hat you gave me.
So cool. She gave me the torn and tattered overalls that I had on my wish list, and cool. I'm gonna rock them, taking care of the chickens. That was
a pretty good pick. What you got my niece that was on her Amazon list, and you ended up getting.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
she was.
Cool.
It was Wet and Wild. Made a Charlie Brown Christmas colors and accessories. Y'all probably saw them at Walmart. And I saw it, and at first I was like, oh, I don't want her to think I'm trying. She's in her teen years. I don't want her to think I got kids makeup or whatever. So when she opened it, I was going to try to explain it. She's like, oh my gosh, this was on my Amazon wish list. And I was like, hey, Nelson. And I was like, score. And then I gave her an eyelash curler from the same line. And she was like, oh, and I said, have you ever curled your eyelashes before you put mascara on? And she goes, no, I've never tried it. And I said, it when you do it, it separates them and makes it easier to put on. So it was kind of a cool moment. Aunt to niece telling, secrets on how to, beauty secrets or what have you. So it was a good time.
Hey, Nelson. Nelson's here. Merry Christmas.
My nephew just started driving, and he's got his little car. So I bought the Chemical Guys. The Chemical Guys makes a line of car cleaning and stuff. It's good stuff, and they have it all. You can detail your entire car on the inside with this one spray, and thank you. It's flattering because my brother-in-law the other day was like, well, what do y'all want for Christmas? And I said, oh, don't whatever. And he was like, no, because y'all always give the not best, meaning the most expensive, but y'all give the best gifts, like you really know what someone could use or whatever. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Chris says that because he normally gets a Falcons jersey or something like that. So
what's funny is his brothers, that Ralph Lauren denim shirt that he has, and then I've worn it with what? And set
hey buddy, you gonna sit right here with us?
So now he and his brothers all have the Ralph Lauren denim shirt. So I was like, y'all need to take an awkward family photo with all three of y'all and your denim shirts. I don't know. Ice A. It kind of started in the middle of a thought. I enjoyed it, but no matter the time, slowly our friendship became a gap, and suddenly it felt like the earth tilted.
Who's that?
I have no idea. You started in the middle of a thought, so I don't know. Don't know. Maybe they typed the wrong. I don't understand.
Hey, Mama Ricky.
How are you, Mama Ricky? Did Santa Claus come see you?
They're getting over the flu bug.
Oh man,
that's
rough.
Man.
Look at this.
The one good thing about having the flu is if everybody in the house has the flu, is you just kind of snuggle in together and kind of get over it together. Mandi and I both had COVID at the same time last year, and I was saying, besides the vacation that we took in June when I had COVID, this 3 days off that I have right now is the longest time I've ever had off, except for the 4 days when I had COVID and the week when we were on vacation.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever had the legit Spanish flu? I've never had it.
No, I've never had that.
Yeah, people know if
does it exist still?
No, the real flu. Because a lot of times people say, I think I have the flu, but.
Oh, I've had the real flu before, and it sucks, man.
That's what I mean.
It's like,
Where
people
you
don't.
can't move.
Yeah, you don't go to school or to work with the
Okay.
flu when you have the real flu because you're pooping everywhere and you have a headache and it sucks.
Well, I'm going to be honest, Michaela. Sawyer got a little stuffed toy from someone, a family member. We didn't get him anything.
Yeah, he's pretty spoiled.
But
he's got it. He doesn't know. But he did get some beef.
I think a lot of people
loin.
were slipping him food because by the end of the meal, he was like,
he was
trying
just
to go to sleep.
Yeah, all he wanted to do was go to sleep. But he goes with us everywhere, so.
Yeah, he's going to sleep right now. He's
Sawyer
tired.
Brown right now.
And he makes his way through. I think sometimes he gets overwhelmed though, so he comes and finds us and gets in our lap because there's so much going on.
Mm-hmm. It's easy for him to get stepped on, so.
He's like, I'm very small.
Are you good, Sawyer Brown, right now?
And then we have, we had COVID together, and I'm thankful. Of course, my hubby was much sicker, cough. Oh, of course, men, it's a scientific fact, get considerably sicker than females.
There, scouts investigating the fire.
He's like, who was it? My sister said, she goes, the man flu is a horrible, crippling illness that they have to, and then they have chicken soup and be catered to. The females call it a cold. And I thought that was funny. Thank you. He's a 9-9 puppy. He's 9-9 puppy. So what else went on? Did anybody watch any good movies, like Christmas movies? Like y'all have a tradition where you watch Christmas movies? Oh, I'll show you this card. I've never seen Elf, okay? Never seen it. I know all the lines from it. It's a popular movie. I don't know why I've never seen it, but I've never seen it. But I'm going to wait till Sean comes because I don't want to bug Sawyer. But we have a card from my brother-in-law that talks, and I'll let y'all hear it. It's pretty cool. And
I used all the rest of the wood.
Really? Hand me that card real quick. And tomorrow we got a couple Tractor Supply gift cards, so we're gonna, we love us some Tractor Supply. Then it's the elf thing.
See if you can hear it.
We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups: candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
Isn't that cool? I think it says something else. Didn't it say something different each time?
We elves try to stick to the
No, it's the same thing. Anyway, isn't that cool? Man, those talking cards are expensive.
Yeah, they are cool though.
Polar Express. Never seen that one either, but I heard it's really good. I need to start watching. Christmas
Hanks.
Story and Christmas Vacation, favorite movies of all time for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Michaela says, you all made my Christmas special incomplete. I'm very glad for that. We tend to, I don't know who that is. You have a good evening, though. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Not you, Michaela. We're not talking to you. We're talking to the other person.
That Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, I didn't catch the end of it before it went away. What does it say?
That Everything Everywhere All at Once movie starring Jamie Lee Curtis should come with free weed to smoke while watching. That was what we watched. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
What was it?
It wasn't the Eddie Murphy one where they're at Christmas trading places. She's in that, and they have a Christmas scene.
I don't think that is that it. I know that when he was talking about Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Avatar is something that a lot of people like to be tripping when they watch it.
I see the trailers for Avatar, and I just don't think I dig it.
I don't either.
I like sci-fi a little bit, but they're kind of weird looking, those things.
They're weird. And then I was asking, well, are they aliens or what are they? And he was trying to explain what they were, and I was even more confused than I was to start with. I do remember they were like, someone was watching it.
At one point they had hot dogs for fingers is weirder than I am. Yeah, that was probably the Eye of the Beholder.
That movie?
No, it was just I think it was extra weird because they were watching it.
Everybody else liked the card. I didn't know that Adult Swim on Cartoon Network was made for people who were tripping.
Yeah, I mean, Mandi, for all of her
I
wild
didn't know.
times when, like
That's what
Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Squidbillies and all that stuff that is on Adult Swim is truly for the altered mind.
I had no idea.
I knew that.
Hey,
and I was really
Panda.
past my really hardcore use, and I was in the Army when, Adult Swim first came out.
You didn't understand it.
So it was a small window of time after the military where I got to watch that stuff that way. But when I was with Step and Fetch over there, we didn't ever have cable.
Really?
We had it at the condo. I had it at the condo because but the rest of the places we didn't have it. So
really now you don't even have to have it. But Sean, no, you didn't miss anything. The sports is the main thing.
Hey, Trash Panda, the panda is here. Merry Christmas, Reese's. Merry Christmas, Panda.
Okay, got it. Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, and Squidbillies.
I had like the whole first season of Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, and
I would watch it and go.
Meatwad.
Who watches this?
Meatwad and Frylock, and Sir Shakes a lot.
I definitely think that most of the it's apparently not WWF anymore. It's
Hey,
WWE.
Misty Lee, Merry Christmas.
I think that also is probably for the altered minds.
What is?
Watching wrestling.
And it is, but it's different. Like you have hardcore wrestling watchers that are straight. But I mean, I don't think you have like some straight, well, you do, because I was watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The other thing I used to watch, you guys ever watch the cartoon The Boondocks? Did you ever see that? I love me some Boondocks.
I never.
Uncle Ruckus, he's the
you've showed it to me.
Uncle Ruckus was a black guy that was racist against black people in the whole movie and in the whole show.
And he didn't know he was.
Oh, he knew he was black because whenever he would say something racist, he'd go. I mean, he'd say something real racist, and they'd go, "Ruckus, you're black," and he goes, "Why do you remind me of my affliction?" It was really weird. But I like the Boondocks.
Sarah.
The Boondocks was cool. It was a cool one.
Yeah. Now it makes sense because I was like, why would anyone sit and watch these shows for hours at a time? They're not even good. And then when it was explained to me, I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
I mean, if you have a TV like our TV, right, and you turn all the lights off and you're sitting there watching like Adult Swim, the way it comes out of the TV is it casts shadows all over your.
Oh, does it really?
All over your in your room too. So it does that.
I had no idea. Now I know. And I always was like, why do they call it Adult Swim? Because they weren't really like there wasn't the
kind of like not for kids, like.
But it wasn't really adult content.
It's like all the kids get out of the pool. It's Adult Swim, like when.
Right, that's what I mean. Okay, that makes sense because I was like,
there's no lifeguard, only grown-ups in the pool, something like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Hello, 1994. How are you? Now I get it. But Space Ghost is better.
Space Ghost was on Adult Swim.
So you watched that, like you said, for a brief time after you got out of the Army, you watched Adult Swim.
What I mean is there was only, when it first came out and I was watching it, I was not smoking. I was just kind of. But my kids were growing up, and when they became, like early teenage years before the divorce, they would watch it. Okay. It'd be like Friday night, and
that makes sense.
I'd be up until 2 or 3 in the morning, and it would come on.
Okay. Yoga Pants, hello. I got to send you a link for a short I uploaded on my channel. Ophelia said happy birthday. Oh, yay! While opening her presents, and she's just starting to say more than 1 to 2 words. Yes.
That's awesome.
Please send me the link. How amazing. We were talking about that the other day. When you have kids and you wait for them to start walking, and then they start walking, and then you wish they were back to not. Yeah. But it's different Sarah. With your grandkids. They start getting into things, and you're like, oh, isn't that cute? And
I stopped watching The Simpsons years ago, guys.
Is it still on?
It still comes on.
Who watches it?
South Park I haven't watched in years either, but when it is on, I still like it. I haven't kept up with. They're like on their 25th season or something.
I had no idea.
Yeah, of South Park, and what's really amazing? They never grow up.
They don't.
They
Not on
don't.
The Simpsons either.
Simpsons and South Park they're forever young. Could you imagine being Cartman and being 12 for like ever?
Sawyer Brown, just lay here. Yeah, I had The Simpsons, I've never heard anyone recently that says, yeah, I still watch it every weekend. Yeah, I'm not into South Park. I don't... You showed me a few clips that I thought were cute, but I never understood when it was like super, hey, let it go. I didn't know that it was super like... I had no idea. I had no clue that why people loved it as much as they did. But... and I felt the same way about Friends and Seinfeld. And some of you agree with me and some of you don't. But I loved Roseanne. And a lot of people didn't like Roseanne.
I like Roseanne. I wasn't a great big fan of it. Like, I didn't love it, but it was on. It was on. Oh my gosh.
I mean, because the way the mom is always like, she's not like whatever. She would come home from work and be tired, and they, they would crack open a beer, and the daughter would be like, whatever. The kids would do it, and they were like, it was raw and entertaining. It was kind of cool, but that show was on for what, 6 or 7 years, maybe longer than that, maybe closer to 10.
Christine said, I remember watching my brother's Beavis and Butthead VHS. Now I watched me some Beavis and Butthead. You would have been real little when that came out, because that was kind of like...
I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Yeah, that was like late 80s.
It's the one where the guy...
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I liked... and they were stoners.
You said but.
Were they stoners?
They were super stoners.
Yeah.
Well, they thought they were.
Again, something I never got at the time.
Well, they were like...
They never said it.
They were young kids, and you never saw them doing it. They were just kind of like airheads. They were just kind of like... Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure type people.
Another show that I watched long after it had come on, not a show, it was a movie, was Clerks. And I did like that movie.
See, I never really
wasn't really
Clerks.
allowed to watch it when it was like, you're going to make him mad.
Mandi, I've always was intrigued by... The reason why I didn't see some movies is because we didn't have like advanced cable back. You know how some families had HBO and all that? We had the basic cable package, but that was it. Mandi was like banned from seeing like Porky's and normal movies. I mean, that I was like, really? But of course, she was a little girl in 1980. She, in the 80s,
my sister was 10 years older. My brother was 13 years older, and I just remember there were certain things that my mom would say: if you watch it, you make sure she doesn't see it. She doesn't need to be watching that.
Right, Christine? I am the great Cornholio. I need tippy for my bunghole. Are you threatening me?
That's like what, and I was always like,
are you threatening me? He's like he.
Who made it?
I am the great Cornholio.
They were just a couple of friends.
I am the great... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was good, Sean. Really
well,
was.
but that's... You guys
no, I mean,
appreciate
for real,
what that was.
Close.
Christine knows, right?
Yeah, no, some of them I've never... I know, I've still never seen. I did the Beavis and Butthead spinoff, King of the Hill. I did like King of the Hill. I liked King of the Hill. I did watch that. Not like faithfully, but I thought that was good. And I liked the one when which one was it? Family Guy, where the guy, the black character moved to a different town, and then there was a spinoff on that.
Well, yeah, American Dad, I think it was.
No, it was.
Yeah, I think you're right though.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But remember,
I did like Family Guy.
I sell propane and propane accessories.
And it was supposed to take place in Austin, right?
King of the Hill
was.
Something like that,
yeah. He said that they typed it the same time you said it.
Yeah, I sell propane and propane.
That's pretty
Damn
cool.
it, Bobby. How many times I got to tell you, son?
That one was good. But nothing tops Roseanne. No, just kidding.
What else did we watch? One show that I watched that Mandi does not like was that 70s show.
I don't get it.
Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis. I
whacking off in my shed again.
Are you whacking off in my shed again, boy?
Who is he talking to?
He's talking to Bobby, his son. Damn it, Bobby.
That's so funny.
I'll catch you whacking off in my shed.
He's got if he loses his day job, he's going to be doing a, yeah. Can you believe that? Is the Connor still on? I didn't even know it was still on. Yeah, she promptly got kicked straight off that show.
Yeah, Sarah Archer was also on Adult Swim, and that was kind of like what? He was kind of like a detective, right? Like an investigator.
Yeah.
They're still
You
coming
liked
up
it,
with
Karen? The show that I cannot stand the most is The Big Bang Theory.
The
Or
Big
How
Bang,
I Met Your Mother. Both of those I don't.
I don't know how. I mean, The Big Bang Theory was okay. That was just recently. I used to watch it. Some, but that '70s show, I
They
could.
all like your.
I could binge watch that '70s show, and then Megan could too. My daughter could
Wow,
too. So I
that's
saw it
pretty cool.
again.
That
You
was-
know, the other thing that I got every
Solar
episode for my
Opposites,
daughter
he
was
no Rick and Morty. My kids watched Rick and Morty.
Scrubs. Remember Scrubs? The show Scrubs.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I do remember it. You liked The Big Bang. I could never. I think that it just different shows speak to different people, and they get into it. But yeah, like Seinfeld. Are any of you Seinfeld fans? That one.
He was a hitman. Okay, I knew it was something like that where he was
On what show?
Archer.
And then at the very last episode of How I Met Your Mother, did he finally meet the mother? Because the whole show was about how like someone's telling
Like
how
everything's leading up to it,
right?
or something
Did he
like that.
finally meet her mother? Yeah, and Sheldon and I started watching it like the big. Okay, maybe we should. There's a few shows that I wish I could get into, and also what was the other one?
Ricky was like, Big Bang Theory was a show about a group of geniuses who were dumb as fuck. Yeah,
And that's what
Yeah.
it was, right?
yeah, that's kind of what it was.
And the guy from Roseanne, the teenage curly-haired boy, was on it, right?
Was that him? All grown up? That was him?
I don't think
could
it
have
was.
been.
I
It
don't
could have
think
been
it
him.
was our little. I can hear the little chicken. The little.
I'm gonna.
You gonna give him some water?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him some water, but I'm also gonna stoke the fire because that's what I do.
You
We're out
can
of
do
wood,
it.
guys. So
Yeah, maybe I should try it again because if a lot of you love The Big Bang Theory, maybe I should give it another. They did, so they finally met her mother. I've been watching Touched by an Angel the last 3. Oh, that's a good feel-good show.
which one?
Touched by an Angel, yes. Solar Opposites is made by the same people and is better than Rick and Morty. Okay. That was him. Okay. He was Darlene's husband, right? In Roseanne, and then he was in that show, but he wasn't like the same character or whatever. And then but how many years did like the Big Bang Theory was it on? Wasn't it on for like
It's like 10 seasons.
about 10 years or something like that? I could never get into the Big Bang Theory. I did watch Mythbusters because I'm a science nerd. I bet, Christine, I bet you're like into that. I saw that Sheldon's. The one thing I saw in Mythbusters is they were, you know how when you go to get gas, it says don't use your cell phone by the gas pump because it tries to say that it can spark something and do whatever. Mythbusters went to prove that that was not true. They could not recreate enough of a spark to like they tried to even do it with like a jet engine or something. It was crazy. Sheldon is the one that wore the different t-shirts, right? He had a very, very dry sense of humor and wore the little t-shirts. I'm gonna ask Sean. Sean, have you ever seen Polar Express?
That we were just talking about that. That's
No,
with
Michaela
Tom
wants to
Hanks.
know, have you seen it?
I saw parts of it.
That's our chicken.
We have to clean him. He just tried. He
It's
got
okay.
poop on his wing. A
Someone.
little bit.
No, say hi. Do you see him? This is the one that he has trouble walking.
Yup. Trouble
Trouble walking meaning,
He can't walk.
but he gets around and gets his food and gets his.
Look at his little feet. Let me see him.
It's okay. Oh no. Oh, he's jumping Betty.
Yeah,
Did you give him some water?
I did.
We'll get that off of him. So, anyway, he's figured out how to move himself around in the bedding to get food and water. And I doubt he's gonna become an adult or whatever because he really can't. We've tried to get his legs stronger, but as long as he can scoot around and eat and drink, and I mean, there's no reason to not think that.
We're gonna keep trying.
So we hold him up to give his water, like so he can get in and get his water. He eats just like that. He turns himself around and eats with the rest of the chickens. He's never really been able to.
Use his legs right.
So, but
And he's
he's
stinky right now.
he stinks.
He's stinky because he's got someone pooped on his wing.
Did your sibling poop
Look.
on your wing? Okay, well they don't want to see it. We'll get it off. You want to get it off? Yeah, I don't know. He's very sweet. Little gadgets, you can build them. You know what? I was thinking that. I'm not even kidding. I was going to look online or I was going to make one. A little chicken wheelchair. Yes. That's what I was thinking about. I'm going to find one. And if I can't find one, I'm going to make one. That's literally all that's wrong with him. If he can, now he could never really go outside because something could get him too easily. So we would literally have to construct something. But we'll see. We'll see if he stays with us. He will for a while. Yeah, like a little walker. I found this little plastic thing that we have, and if I could put 2 holes in the bottom, he could sit straight down in it. But I'd have to figure out how to put wheels on it. Yes. Yeah, like I said, we're not giving up on him. He's made it so far, so we make sure he eats and he drinks and gets what he needs. And they to protect him, if we're holding him while he drinks water, the other ones will let us do it for a second, and they come up and start pecking, and I'm like,
at our fingers,
and then he'll make a little peep like, no, it's all good, and then they'll go back over it.
Yeah, they know we're not like attacking him or anything.
No, we're just helping him. He's tired.
Very tired.
That we did. Yeah, Misty, I'm serious. If we can get him like a wheelchair or something, I'll put him in a diaper and he can chill in the house. Those little gray toy. Yeah, you know what? You're right about that. Those Little's toy grocery carts would work. You're right about that.
You want to put them up?
Just hold on. Do you know my voice? As I give you water all day?
We're just chicken people, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to hold him like it's water, or do you want me to do it? Do you hold him up?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Let me fix the water.
And it's hard to maintain that. There's a bucket over there, babe.
Okay.
It's
right
over there.
next to it, right?
No, I dumped it. It's over there.
Okay.
There's 2. There's the little. So, yes, I'm telling you, right? I agree. Like, we're not gonna give up on him. Like, in the beginning, he would fall over and not be able to get up, but then we would put him right side up, and he would be. And then at some point, he wasn't like able to or whatever. But it's just like we were certainly not going to let him just lay there with no food or water. Like, that's a horrible way to go. So we made sure he ate and drank, and then he just kind of keeps bumping along. Anybody that saw how he gets along would say that's pitiful if they look at him. But he's figured out how to maneuver. He's using his wing and his leg that works. He gets over to the water dish. His name is Tiny Tim. That's what we named him. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but he's Tiny Tim. And like I said, he will try, but he may not make it, but right now he's doing okay. Right, baby? We love him too. He's right. The other, it's been so cold, like that the Red doesn't seem like she's feeling very well, but I think it's just that she's really cold. Like, she doesn't normally let us touch her or pick her up, but she did yesterday. But I think it was so cold that all of them were just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, not hypothermia, but kind of like that. And so we would make sure they would go back in where their heater was and stuff. But I'm serious. He's special needs. He really is. He is. I hope so. I'm going to try it. We're going to try to make it work. My hubby just showed me a white rescue poodle mix, and I'm so tempted. But, oh, man, I have my hands full with 2. I would love a rescue. You've got the space, Karen, if you can do it. Let's see. Absolutely. Like, we would, my brother-in-law has a cat, and I'd never seen a cat like that. It's like solid white with like these beautiful yellow eyes. And I guess it's like an Egyptian Angora or something like that. Like, and it's the most beautiful cat. And I have to tell y'all, I didn't even really know that there were cat breeders. Like, I knew that there were dog breeders. I didn't know there was cat breeders. We exercise his little legs. But Sean says, you can try to get off. Sean says that one of his legs is growing out. So we need to put something on it to like get it to go down. So, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm just like not ready. We're not going to give up on him. It was like, as long as we can get him to eat and drink and he seems, whatever. But yeah, like in the beginning when he wasn't able to get up, I was like, he hadn't figured out yet how to scoot over to his water and for his food. And I was like, we're going to make sure he gets it because it's up to us. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I thought about using popsicle sticks and making little leg braces for him. I'm not even kidding. And I just, yeah, I think people that have a love for animals and taking care of them, like the people who don't have that strong of a drive, they're okay. But the people that do seem to find each other. Isn't that interesting? The people that have that, to me, like the elderly, children, and animals are the most vulnerable, innocent ones in society. So I kind of have a thing for all of them. Yeah, I'll share my wheelchair with Tiny. I would love that, Michaela. He would sculpture wire. You know what? That is a good idea. Like, because I was trying to figure out how I could attach the little things to him or whatever. Night, Mama Ricky. You have a good night and get to feeling better. My hips weren't developed when I was a baby, and I have to have a hip and leg braces till 4. And I didn't walk normal. They never fully developed. I have problems with my hips to this day. That's interesting, Sarah. Like, so you have pain in your hips, like bad. I know you, I'm not going to disclose all your medical stuff, but I know you suffer with pain from something else. That is amazing. So your hips, you have problems with your hips, but did it are your legs, did they end up being okay? The sculpture wire is soft too, so you can bend it easy. Okay. See, we're coming up with, you hear these stories about people that do extraordinary things and go outside the box to help animals, and it's a gift. I agree. I have seen big old tough cowboy guys that melt over a kitten or whatever. There was a person that I worked with, he had been like a Marine or whatever, and another lady that we worked with brought this litter of kittens in that she had saved, and one of them was missing an eye, and she was kind of like, well, whatever, that one, if it doesn't. And this big old retired Marine, big strong guy was like, no, I'll take it. And he kept it at the office for a little while before he took it home. And you would see him just oohing and awing and snuggling this tiny little one-eyed kitten.
Oh, did it live?
And that was really cool. Yeah. But Sergeant Garcia was going to kill it.
Oh my God!
She was like,
to put it out of his misery or whatever?
No, she was a rancher and whatever, and she saved him, and she was like, this one, and I don't know what she was going to do, and he was like, no, I'll take that one. So it was like, so anyway, he just absolutely melted over that kitten. And then when he finally did take it home, he had a pit bull, and the kitten would ride around on the pit bull's back. The pit bull took over and guarded it, and it was really cool. What's wrong, Sawyer Brown? Come here.
Michaela said, I'm laying here looking at my Sawyer stocking Sean, and you blessed me with. I absolutely love it. Well, that's what Christmas is about.
Yes.
We're glad to do it.
What, do you want to come up here, Sawyer Brown? Come here. I know you're tired. Come here. Come here. We'll go to bed soon.
I think so, Christine. I think it is kind of, people are scared of bugs because, if they see them on TV or whatever, they're like in some kind of situation or in there some kind of scenario where they're not good, But if they get a chance to, she said when they see her hissers, they're scared of it, but then curiosity takes over.
Oh, I'm sure. Thank you, Trash Panda. That would be awesome. I had surgeries and made a scar tissue down because, wow, Sarah, you have such a good outlook on just things in general, considering everything that you've gone through. Christine, knowing you now that you're a science buff, it just totally makes sense that you would have hissers. You know what I mean? It's so cool.
You look at her social media channels and her stuff, and they've got bugs in them, and it's like, okay, she likes bugs. Yeah, I mean, you don't really hear them because you're just seeing pictures of them and stuff, but
I was
that's
gonna
probably
say, yeah, Karen's had when she's had some lots of surgeries when she was young for kind of the same stuff that you're talking about, Sarah. Yeah, Christine, it's so you. Now that we know you, it's so
absolutely.
you. Merry Christmas, Rhonda. Have a great night. I hope it's warm where you are inside.
Rhonda, she's in North Carolina.
So it's cold, but not quite as cold.
It's a little warmer there, isn't it? Like towards the ocean. I thought it was. I thought that's what they said, that it was a little warmer. Maybe not.
Panda, I've seen those metallic blue tarantulas. I've seen pictures of them. I did find out that for a while there was a picture going around of a raven black chicken and saying that they laid black eggs or whatever. And I guess they were even selling them to people like the eggs were fake. They were not black. The chicken's real. It's a black chicken. But there is no chicken that lays black eggs. It was completely fake. But it made for a good photo op.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a chicken that was black legs, black everything. But it laid regular eggs, brown eggs.
Karen cracks me up. She doesn't understand she does not understand why someone would want a pet rat or a mouse. I don't either. But Karen cracks me up when she's like, I saw it and I just don't understand that. Fancy or not fancy, who would want that?
Oh my God.
She's so funny. It's warm ocean air, but it was 17 last night.
Yeah, it was about like it was here.
Wow.
Can you imagine it being like 15 degrees and sitting on the beach? It just doesn't seem like that would be reality.
That's what happened when your condo froze.
Yep. Then that started the whole big, what happened to their condo? Did they get evicted or whatever? Remember, people thought we got evicted.
Yeah, you showed the video though, and everybody.
I guess the pipes broke, and the pipes broke upstairs. I was on the second floor, and actually, it was the first floor that people lived on. The bottom floor was like the maintenance sheds and the offices. But so on the third floor, their pipe, I think it was 2 stories up that broke. And it came down onto them, and then it came down into mine. And so when I got back from Atlanta, it was like an ice skating rink. I mean, it was in there. It was
that bad?
Yeah, it was bad.
Why? So how cold did it get that it froze?
Oh, it was down. It was, I don't know, 15 degrees.
The same kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, once the pipe breaks, it doesn't have. All it has to be is below freezing.
That makes sense.
So.
And it destroyed it.
And there's a few people that on my Facebook page around here that their pipes froze over the last couple nights.
Yeah. Well, and I found out, the key is at the post office. It isn't starting. And I found out my brother-in-law's car is having trouble starting too because of the cold. So I'm thinking tomorrow we're going to go start it up.
Yeah, we'll probably be okay.
And we'll back to being 2 cars
again.
again.
If not, on Wednesday, I'll just have a mechanic just do the wire. I talked to Dad a little bit. Remember when you saw me?
Did he say it happens?
He's pretty much but he pretty much agrees that it's a wire. It's not.
Okay.
The battery's new. We put a battery in just a couple months ago.
Okay.
So.
Let me see here, Sarah. Yeah, and what's interesting is Sarah really, really doesn't want to take like narcotic pain pills or whatever.
It's gotta be tough though, man.
And she's got some serious pain. Merry Christmas, Presley. Popped in to say Merry Christmas to everyone here playing board games and much. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, but Sarah's found other ways to control pain that are less and that goes to show you if she can do it, probably a lot of people could do it. The gummies are also, they were talking about that tonight about how gummies are really helping people with pain and different things like that. And so at least now there's something other than just opioids that you can take when you've got chronic pain. I wonder if there will come a day when science gets to the point where they don't even need to prescribe those. Like if they will figure out how to do it without the euphoria feeling. Not that everyone thinks it's euphoria. A lot of people don't like the feeling.
CBD kind of did that a little bit with it.
It did it?
But I mean, like with marijuana, the CBD is supposed to give you the effects, the anti-anxiety and the pain relief without the THC, which is what makes you high.
I see.
So without the THC that makes a lot of television shows seem real.
And we had a whole conversation about that today, where you think that what's funny is he was altered in high school. When you talk about you came home and your dad was watching the Aliens movie, and he said that Sean was like,
I dropped like a half a hit, and so I didn't think, when you think a half a hit, all a half a hit means is you still like trip, but it's not as intense and it's not as long. And I was just hanging out with my friends, and I was like, well, it's Friday night, so even if I go up to my room and just listen to headphones all night and trip out, that's what I would do. Well, I walked in and my dad was like, yeah, he was watching, it was a movie about aliens. It wasn't Alien, but it was one like that. And so I found myself sitting there the whole movie like.
And you kept going, he knows.
He must know.
And then afterwards he was like, okay. And he turned to the team, like, good night. And Sean said he sat there like.
I sat here for like another 15 minutes like, okay, night.
I can't imagine that. I was certainly not a goody two-shoes, but never had any experiences like with that kind of stuff or whatever. I was just a drinker from the get-go.
You just loved it. I loved the alcohol.
I just loved a drink. Until it turned out it was my savior until it turned into my worst enemy.
What are you doing, buddy? He's like, what happened to my fire, Dad? It was roaring. We're all out of wood now.
He's like...
I started the fire a little too early, I think, but I'm so good at building fires, that it's a roaring fire very quickly.
Everyone, please compliment Sean on his fire building. Yeah. He is very, very good at building. He really is.
But it all goes back to that.
Goes back.
It was a cute little fire. Excuse me.
Well, he started this fire at the cabin, and he was in there, and I was like, oh, and it wasn't big.
She called it a cute little fire, guys.
And I didn't, because we were new to the relationship, so I
took offense.
I didn't know he considered himself a master fire builder. He proceeded to go get wood with his cell phone for a light and built a fire so blazing that it heated up the entire room, and I had to go into the other room.
And it's only like a 2-room cabin, and if it wasn't for the partition they made, so you walk in and it's like a big old studio with a fireplace in the corner, the living room, the kitchenette, the kitchen,
and the bedroom with the hot tub.
And so there was like they built a wall, and that's where the bedroom and the hot tub was, and then the bathroom. And she couldn't come around into the other room. I had it going, so she was like,
I had to go to the other room. But it's really cool because they have a hot tub, and it's not just like a jacuzzi. It's like, it's got a deck built around it. Yeah. It is a legit, like, outdoor hot tub in built this cabin inside, with the bed. And
so it's like its own room. But so when you leave the bedroom, you kind of go up about 4 steps up to the little room, and you can see from the bed to the hot tub, but it's got little shelves for towels and all that, and it's it's not a functional, like, you wouldn't want to rent that and live in it all the time because that's square footage, and a third of the square footage or a quarter of the square footage is a hot tub, but it's perfect like honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
Or for us, it was a getaway for a couple nights, or whatever.
And they started putting up a wall between the living area and the bedroom with a doorway. But some of them don't have that, where you literally, it's like an efficiency. You walk in, you've got the kitchenette, you've got the living area, and then you see the hot tub in the bed from the thing. And that's the one we stayed in the first time.
Yeah, I didn't build quite the big fire, but and
it was the first time I came.
It is set up like an efficiency, but it's not. It's like a great big studio.
And it was funny because it was the very first time I ever came to Atlanta, and he had gotten it, and so
hey, EXO. He's back.
He was like, I wanted to, where we're going tonight, I wanted to do something.
It was a
special.
shot in the dark.
And I was okay. And we walked in, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it was July.
I love it. It was July.
It was July 4th weekend, which it was was before COVID. They're hard to book those now because of everything that's going on.
But I don't think it's for what you get, it's $250 a night.
Yeah, something like that.
And if you only go for 1 night or 2 for an anniversary, it's not so bad.
That was in July when we did that one, and then the second time we did it,
November. That was
nice. That was the journey where Mandi and I drove from Texas to Georgia for Thanksgiving and made a decision in the cabin whether or not we were going to go back to Texas or we were going to hike it out to
because we could have gotten an attorney by phone. We could have called around, but we kind of wanted to go sit down with someone. Like, you know, Sean, it was like, it's best to make, and that's what we did. Dipped in, got his stuff, and dipped out with counsel.
Sarah says, I lost all my teeth right after I turned 30 and my eyesight is shot. I'm a whole ass.
Wow.
She goes, I'm a whole ass shit show.
Roan, I bet he is. He's got Hot Wheels and okay. So we were talking about the most fun ages to buy are between like 3 and what 10 or 11. Those are
something
the
like that.
You
really can't go wrong with what you get either.
No, that's very cool. But you're right. They get that stocking candy, and you got to figure out how to regulate it because the first thing they do is eat about half of it
at 5:30 in the morning before you're even up.
And then eventually, by about 7 o'clock in the evening, they're exhausted. Their sugar crash is gone, and they're pitching a fit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I think the hardest to buy for are teenagers too, because they're so they know what they want, and they expect to get what they asked for. You know, and it's like.
Yeah.
If you don't, they can't hide their disappointment if they don't get what they wanted. And it's like, damn.
Yeah. And a lot of times they bargain with gift cards. My kids, if they got say their grandparents gave them a gift card to Target, well, they would rather have the cash so they could go somewhere else. So then you start buying their gift cards from them. And then you end up with a crap load of gift cards to places.
And then you just put them up and regift them unless you specifically want them.
I'm glad y'all are talking about they're able to bond over like their orthopedic issues and stuff like that. That's very nice.
That's cool.
You don't feel so alone.
Do you want to show the wreath real quick?
Yeah, we can show.
Yeah,
are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go get it for you.
Okay, go get it.
Here.
Jude hasn't been through, but she sent us the things that we showed in the beginning, and then this wreath. He's gonna go. Oh, it's going. The fire's going out.
It's all right. I'm out of wood, so we're gonna.
I'll make sure Sean sees that. He doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't mind.
What's that?
EXO did a video on his reaction channel because he was frustrated with the Beast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sean doesn't see that. Did you even, like, he doesn't see most of that stuff. I don't even know if he saw it come up or whatever, but he certainly understands. We understand the desire to, you know, react to it. You might what else can you do but react to it? This is the wreath.
Can I see it? Can they see it okay?
Yeah, and then so it's got all of the different things, and then this says the curlies, and look, there's chicks on it. Isn't that cool? And she put it in a box, and isn't that awesome? Love it. Love the colors too.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It looks really good, and even the wreath hanger even came with it. I bet she's busy tonight, but she'll probably be through at some point in the next few days, and it was so cool. And then I took the Christmas wreath down and put that one up right there so that we could have it on display or whatever. But I still have the Christine, the Cornholio thing pinned. I was like, when we were talking about Beavis and Butthead.
I am the great
Isn't it cute?
Cornholio. I need
love it.
teepee for my bunghole. Are you threatening me?
But and did they deliver pizzas? Didn't one of them deliver pizzas?
Mm-mm. They just sat on the couch and
Maybe
reviewed
Wayne's
videos
World.
and
Wayne's
stuff.
World, did they deliver pizzas?
They might have on Wayne's World.
Okay.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Look, he's asleep. I'm going to get that aloe vera juice. Here, go on to Daddy's lap while I grab something to drink. My throat's dry. He's so tired.
So we went by the store. There's this aloe drink that, you know, that I love. And Mandi has discovered it. And so she's going to go get it real quick.
I love it.
And sorry, you want to say hi to everybody?
I want to get this.
He's like, hey, dude. Party time. Excellent. Have a most excellent time. And they did the Bohemian Rhapsody in there. And look at him. He's like, dude, everything's so colorful. Everything's so colorful. Arr. That was before Keanu Reeves was became the action star that he is. There's a lot of actors that did that. Tom Hanks, remember when he did like The Burbs and he did a bunch of comedies. Tom Cruise in 48 Hours. Remember that? Not 48 Hours. Risky Business. I even remember the Tom Cruise movie Losing It. It's way like one of his biggest. One of his very first films. Nobody knew who he was, and Shelley Long's in it with him, and yeah, I think it was like 1980 or something. He was like a 20-year-old.
Risky Business is where he slid in the shirt, right? He came slid.
That's
on his
Risky
side.
Business, yeah.
That's the only scene I know from
Chris, I have a little. Isn't Losing It like the guy that dressed up like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that? And it was a bunch of people that never really did anything else in the movies, but Shelley Long and Cheech wasn't in it. They go down to Tijuana. So you want to take your mother to the gangbang? Oh, yes, you do.
What movie is that?
It's called Losing It.
Mm.
I remember when it came out, and then I forgot about it forever. Then I got the DVD on.
Do we have it?
No, I don't think I have it. I'd be surprised. It was one of those ones that I can look, but it's worth getting though.
It was like, was it one of those like movies that turned into a cult classic or whatever?
And I never really did, but it was like Tom Cruise, one of his very first movies that he did.
He's taking my drink. He's got his own, but you can have mine. It's weird that this is the thing about Sean. This is weird that he likes it because he introduced me to it when we first met. He's like, have you ever had this? And I got it. There's the little chunks of aloe in it. It's real aloe in it, right?
Yeah.
It's real aloe. It's almost like bubble tea.
Right, Christine. His character was obsessed with Sinatra and getting laid. That's true. And it was
what a combination.
So it was him, it was the other guy. It was almost like a combination of guys, almost like The Hangover, right? So you had the Sinatra looking guy, then you had the guy that was supposed to be real cool, and then you had Tom Cruise's character who was like this real boyish, because he was real boyish when he was young. And he's the one that ends up with, now Shelley Long plays a character where she was eloping with some guy and they break up, so she jumps in the car with them and they go to Tijuana with him. And
they said, does your mama want a gangbang?
That was at one of the bars where they were, did the greatest bar in all Tijuana. Remember, they were trying to get Spanish Fly. He was going, the guy that acted like Sinatra was running around trying to get Spanish Fly. And it's fake, right? But in Tijuana, so there's this hustler that's like, I give you the best Spanish Fly in all of Tijuana. And he goes to gets a bunch of aspirin and stuff like that. And it's just a funny movie.
He thought it was like some sort of
okay. Right. It was pretty much The Hangover before The Hangover was a thing. That's right. That's right.
That's cool. I'd like to see it.
Sarah Smile said her husband just rented the new Top Gun to watch tonight.
I want to see that. I haven't seen it yet. And then obviously I want to see Elvis.
Christine's like, fuck, her brain's loose. I want to rewatch. Yeah, it was a pretty raunchy movie, but it was funny.
It sounds like it was,
he has like a convertible whatever, Thunderbird or whatever. And the whole idea was they were going to Tijuana. He was going to get his car reupholstered and all that. But then the ulterior thing was they were going to go to Tijuana, which has got like the raunchiest red light district in like the world.
Oh, wow. I liked Blind Date. That's with Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah.
That was a good movie. I did like that. I snuck and watched it because I wasn't supposed to see it.
I like Matthew Modine. I thought Memphis Belle was awesome. Vision Quest. I'm going to watch Vision Quest with Mandi. A lot of the things that I say is, like from Vision Quest. She's like, "What are you talking about?" But
I would like to see it. There's
Pacific Heights. He was in Pacific Heights, but I'm a big Matthew Modine fan, for sure.
Things that you never knew. You want the rest of this?
You gonna give me the backwash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one's raspberry.
How much were they?
I don't know, a couple bucks.
It's kind of a lot of calories. 230 for the whole thing. I mean, it's whatever. It's no worse than sweet tea, but that.
It's got 53 grams of sugar. That's why.
It's good though. It's good. I don't know. My throat's dry. I don't know. I've been trying. I am super sensitive to spicy foods. When I brush my teeth, it'll hurt my mouth so bad that sometimes it makes tears come out. And I'm super sensitive to spice now where I never have been before, and it constantly feels like there's a huge dry spot. I went to the doctor, I don't know how many times. so they're going to refer me to ear, nose, and throat. But it's so embarrassing to explain it to them. You know what I mean? Like what it is or whatever. Yes, Sarah said her hubby calls it the backwash too. I always call it the ass of the drink. It's like, oh, you're going to give me the ass of the soda?
It's backwash.
That's what... Oh, we're back. I was like, I thought he was looking up the movie or something. Remember that feeling when, like, you were young and the Christmas was over and you, like, it's such this neat time, but, like, remember when you were a kid and Christmas was over and then, especially when you had to go back to school?
Right. And I remember, but did we go back to school? You had the whole week off for New Year's too, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying when
like
the whole...
3rd.
Yeah, but remember how exciting it was when you got out of school and Christmas was in a few days?
And depending on what day Christmas fell on, like if Christmas fell on a Thursday, you might have to go to school Monday, and then you were... But if it fell on a Sunday, then you would go to school all till like Thursday or whatever. But what I remember most about Christmas, especially the high school days, is you always wanted to hang out with your friends. I was one of those guys. I had the call of the wild. I couldn't just sit at home on a Friday night or a Saturday night.
You had to go.
Now, you had like 10-day break from, for Christmas or whatever it was, 10 or 12-day break. And I remember that Christmas...
Hey, Kathleen.
Christmas Eve especially, sometimes like you'd go out whatever the first couple nights, but Christmas Eve is when you kind of locked it in with the family.
That's true.
You locked it in with the family. That's what everybody did. There was no internet, there was no phones. I mean, it was a really big deal if you had a friend that you spent Christmas with. You might go later on that day, but so you locked it in with the family on Christmas Eve. You got up at Christmas and you did Christmas with the family. And when it was the night of the 25th, you went to bed knowing, all right, that was Christmas. Now tomorrow, I got a whole week of hanging out with my friends and doing whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe on the 26th, the malls were always packed with returns and stuff. But
that's
from
true.
the 24th and 25th was one of those times when it was for being around the family for Christmas, and I didn't have the call of the wild.
Yeah.
I wanted to be around my family.
And you bond with all of a sudden, they're like your siblings that you quarrel with or whatever, y'all are bonded. Like y'all spend
for
all
that
that
night.
time. Yeah.
And then the depressing thing, but see, you have winter break, so you're hanging out with your friends and everything, but in the back of your head, you know that Christmas is a whole year away now. Like you're going to go through a whole year of whatever holiday, a whole school year, 1 year of everything. And Christmas it's almost like Christmas doesn't come every year, you know, but then it does.
That was the one day, like, because my sister was older, we would sleep like in the same bed on Christmas Eve or whatever. And that was like our tradition. My kids, their tradition was my daughter would let my son sleep on the floor in her room Christmas Eve. Like that was their tradition. And
you almost had to sometimes, so that way you keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
It's like, get up to your room. Because you're
and you want to go to bed at like 8 because you want to.
And you're laying in bed and you're listening and you never really hear your dad down there putting anything together. You never hear it because you think you're listening, then you finally nod off at about 11 or whatever, and they're like they're in bed. And then when you're a parent, you're putting everything together real quick, and then you're going to bed. The kids never hear it.
Yeah. And
it was the same when you were a kid, and that was the mystery of it, because you'd wake up and go downstairs and you'd see like whatever they built, and it's like, I didn't even hear them build it.
Yeah.
It must have been, it must be real or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's very true. Yeah. I was also, Christmas Eve was always a neat time. Like we would do the candlelight services and stuff like that, and that was really, look, he's trying to, Scout.
What are you doing, Scout?
He's starting to break the
rules. thing that midnight mass was good for was the fact that you were good and tired. Like if you went to midnight mass, you didn't take like 8-year-olds to midnight mass. You didn't take, when you were a kid, you didn't go. When you're about 12, all of a sudden they're like, we're going to go to midnight mass. And you're like, what? And then you go to midnight mass, you get home at about 1:30, and then and then dad had to put all the crap together, for the little ones.
So, they're tired as anything.
They're like, oh my God. And it's like, can we just get them something this year that I don't have to put together? Like a 10-speed or something?
Something that you just wheel it in.
And then we can just go to sleep.
I remember one year, my kids already had bikes or whatever. This is when we were living in Virginia. And AFES gave away a bike. And we, like, somehow through a draw or something, we won it. And we didn't need a bike or whatever. And I remember the neighbor down the street, they had a slew of kids and not a lot of money.
Wow.
And I remember we were like, you can have this bike or whatever. And I was like, you give it to him from Santa or whatever. And so it became like they gave it to like I guess it was going to be like two of the kids. They were going to, I don't know, share it or whatever. They said it was a hit. But AFIS used to do stuff like that. AFIS used to give away pretty good stuff.
The thing about being in the military is everybody kind of had the same slate.
Yeah.
Like if you lived on a street, if you lived in listed housing, you might be an E3 through E6 or whatever. And everybody kind of made the same amount of money.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that much more money from like E3 to E5.
No.
Maybe about $1,500 a month or something. So everybody sort of had the same thing going on at Christmas. Now, what you said is the difference. If you had 2 kids or you had 6, that was the difference on the street, But even then, there'd be like, you'd have the one little group of housing that were the 4 bedrooms. So you might have a little cul-de-sac with four bedrooms, and those were like, so in that cul-de-sac there was like 20 kids.
And sometimes there was like the 1-story houses for people who had family members with special needs. There was always at least a couple of 1-story houses. Grandbaby. Aw.
That's cool.
Oh, that's so cool, Sarah.
That's what I remembered. Like all the lieutenants and captains and a couple majors, they all lived in the same neighborhood. Everybody was sort of the same. All the privates and E5s lived on all the 2 bedrooms were together. So that when it was AFIS could do that, you knew that unless there was something extraordinary going on, everybody was kind of the same. It was just how did you spend your money? Some people drank a lot and spent it. Some people didn't. But I do remember it wasn't until I got out of the military and, I've been out of the military 10 years that you have people that you work with that you do the same job with, and you have very different situations, personal situations, very different home situations.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. We always, because, you don't have family around because you're, away from home. We would always get a great big Rubbermaid tub, like go to Walmart, and the kids would have to be there because we would be picking them out or whatever. And we would look at it and they might say they like it, and we would put it in the tub and put the lid on it. They didn't have any idea we were putting the toys in there. And then one takes the kids to the car, and then you take the thing and go to layaway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how you have to do it because you've got to do your Christmas
You were always
shopping.
around your kids, especially when they're little.
Grandma couldn't watch them while you went, and it was when Walmart still did layaway. AFIS did layaway too, and I think they still do, but Walmart still did layaway. And that was what you did.
Yeah.
You went about...
And you somehow had to figure out how to pay that, $45 a week, for whatever it was. Because if you could somehow scrounge together $300, you could have a pretty good Christmas.
Right.
It wasn't like these days, like $300. You get a tank of gas and some groceries. You go through $300 now, like it's nothing. And
it was funny because in retrospect, we were like, every time we went and got those tubs, we were putting stuff in it, and the kids were like, we had no idea. And I was like, you wouldn't, because you think we're just gonna buy the tub. And then it would be funny because we would go, like put on layaway, and the other one would take the kids. And you come to the car and you don't have the tub because you didn't need it. So you put the stuff on layaway and put the tub back, or maybe you took it home. Maybe you went ahead and bought it and took it home. But the kids, they were like, we never, you didn't know why we just walked around the store. And
some families had a tub that was with a different year marked on every one.
Yeah, it was. Those were good times. Somehow parents always pull it off, no matter how much money you have and how much you're able to get or not get. Most parents pull it off.
I think one of the things that I noticed that Mandi will, when I say it, is we had decent conversation with each one of our kids this year, whether it was just a little bit or not. During the week, my mother had all of her kids, all of her grandkids, and all of her great grandkids all in the house at one time. We pulled it off this year, I think. And
that's everything.
It was touch and go, man. I mean, we went from a blown engine here 10 days ago to where we are tonight, and it was quite a journey this holiday.
Yeah. Oh, look at that baby.
He is so tired. Scout.
I see some of the sparks shooting up or whatever.
Yeah,
I like it when it does that.
It's starting to.
You ready to go to bed?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm glad y'all hung out with us.
Yep.
Look, Sawyer wants to tell everybody how tired he is. You ready, Sawyer? Sawyer?
Tell him
so
Sawyer.
tired.
I
Tell
guess
them
I'm
you're
so tired.
so tired. Say, I'm
so
so
tired.
tired.
And look at show him that one.
Let me see. Now we're probably gonna have to say goodbye without it going back on. You so tired? Is it your bedtime? Is it your bedtime? Look how tired he is. You're so tired. You're so tired. He's like, he doesn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say goodbye like this because
I know we're never gonna get it put back up there.
I gotta tweak it tomorrow. But thank you guys. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, he's